Welcome to today's self-compassion flow. Today we're going to be really bringing compassion, love, empathy and understanding to ourselves throughout our practice. We're going to start at the back of our mat, kneeling, sitting on our heels, bringing the hands on top of the thighs, and go ahead and close your eyes. Bringing our attention inwards to start our practice. And I invite you to place both hands on your heart center, one hand on top of the other. Just tuning in to how you feel. Noticing if you're holding any judgment, any anger, any guilt or shame within your body to yourself. And letting this part of yourself know that it's safe, that you understand how this part of you feels. And just know that you are deeply supported and loved. Taking a few more moments to bring some love to yourself in this moment, whatever that comes up. You can bring the hands back to the thighs, opening up the eyes. Let's bring the right hand to the side, left arm reaches up and over, big side body stretch. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, let's come up and over to the other side. Active in the fingers, breathing space in the right side body. And bringing the hand back to the mat. Let's come into our child's pose, melting the heart and the head towards the mat, allowing the hips to release towards the heels. Feeling the ground below you. Breathing space into the belly and into the body. When we bring compassion to ourselves, it's almost like how we would talk to our closest friends. It's exactly how we should treat ourselves, as though we are our closest friend. Being kind and empathetic and understanding to ourselves, whatever we may be going through. Take 2 more deep breaths here. After your second breath, come to gaze at your fingers and come onto your fingertips, active in the hands. Let's walk the hands over towards the right side, dropping the head down, feeling a stretch in the left side body. And let's walk through center and bring the hands over towards the left side. And bring the hands back to center out in front. And let's press up to a tabletop position, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We'll do a few cat-cows. So as you inhale, drop your belly, pull your heart through. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, arch your spine, pull your heart through the gates of your shoulders. Exhale, round and contract. One more time. Inhale, arch your spine. And then come back to a neutral tabletop position. Let's thread the needle here. So right arm reaches up as you breathe in. As you exhale, thread that arm underneath your torso, shoulder and cheek meets the mat. Option here is to bring that left arm forward, or you can come around for a bind. When you're ready, bring that left hand underneath your shoulder, push yourself up, big breath in, right arm reaches up. And then exhale, hand plants down onto the mat. So let's go to the other side now. Let's bring the left arm up towards the sky, big breath in, and then thread the arm underneath as you exhale. Your arm variation here, whatever you did on the other side, either coming into that bind or reaching forward. Let's bring your right hand underneath your shoulder, pushing yourself up. Big breath in, left arm reaches up, and then hand comes back to the mat. We'll come into our first downward dog, so tuck your toes, bring the hands a little bit more forward, spread the fingers nice and wide as you push yourself away from the earth, hips lift up and back. You can start to pedal out the feet, bending one knee and the other. Feeling into what the body needs, whatever movements that it's craving and that it's needing. 2 more breaths. Take 1 more full breath in. And as you breathe out, let's bend the knees and walk your hands towards your feet. We'll come to the back of our mats. Come into a forward fold. Take a deep bend in your knees and wrap your hands around your elbows and come to a ragdoll position, swaying from side to side, decompress the spine. And then begin to let go of the elbows, root through the feet. Let's come all the way up to standing. Head is the last to come up, and roll your shoulders up towards your ears and down your spine, Tadasana mountain pose. Feeling the earth beneath the feet, closing down the eyes and taking a moment to check in with yourself again. When you're ready, let's sweep the arms up nice and high. As you exhale, folding forward, deep bend in your knees. Come into a halfway lift, hands to shins, flat back, inhale. And as you exhale, walk the hands in front, come into a plank position. Let's drop the knees here for our first round. So bring the elbows in, come all the way down to the ground. Untuck the toes and lift your chest off the ground for cobra, squeezing your lower back muscles. Tuck your toes, hips lift high, coming back to our downward facing dog. On your next full breath in, let's reach the right leg high to the sky, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, step the foot in between your hands, coming into our low lunge. So lower the back knee and untuck the back toe. Bring both hands on top of your thigh, pushing away from the thigh. Nice open chest. Bring your right hand to your hip, left arm reaches up and over. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, let's bring the hands to the mat. We're going to shift our hips back to a half split, flexing the front foot, energetically drawing your front heel towards you. On your next full breath in, we're going to come to face the left side of the room. So you want to make sure that your right foot is in line with the short side of the mat. And you're going to be facing that left long side of the mat. And let's come all the way up, arms reach high, big breath in. And as you exhale, right hand comes to right shin, left arm reaches up and over. 2 full breaths. Take 1 more full breath in. As you breathe out, let's bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder, right arm reaches up and over, modified plank. Full breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to walk our hands in front of us and make our way to face the front of our space, coming back into that half split. And let's rock forward to a low lunge, framing the front foot. Begin to tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and then step back to a plank. Option to lower the knees for our vinyasa. Upward facing dog or cobra. tuck the toes, hips lift high to our downward facing dog. Let's begin to lower the knees towards the mat. We're going to make our way into boat pose, so bring your legs out in front. So we have a couple of options here. So nice strong core, hands can come behind the thighs. When you're ready, you can lift your feet off the ground. Chest is nice and open, so one option is to just hold onto the back of the thighs. Another option is that you can let go of the thighs, arms reach in front of you. Maybe you can play around with straightening one leg or the other, or maybe straightening both legs. Let's stay here for 3 full breaths. One more full breath in. And as you breathe out, bring the feet back to the ground, crossing the legs, and give your knees a nice hug. Feeling the sensation of holding yourself, of hugging yourself. And when you feel ready, you can bring your hands out in front onto the mat. I'm going to step back to our downward facing dog. Let's come to the other side now. Big breath in, lifting the left leg high to the sky. As you exhale, step the left foot forward in between the hands, lowering the back knee. Both hands on top of the left thigh, pushing away from the thigh. From here, left hand comes onto the left hip, right arm reaches up and over, breathing space into that right side body. One more full breath in. As you breathe out, bring that right hand back to the sides, and let's bring both fingers towards the mat, shifting back to our half split, flexing that left foot. Nice straight spine here. And then from here, we're going to begin to walk our hands towards the right side of our mat. I'm going to be facing the right side of the room. Big breath in, coming all the way up, arms sweep high. And as you exhale, left hand comes onto left shin, right arm reaches up and over. Take one more full breath in here. And as you exhale, let's bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder, left arm reaches up and over, modified plank. One more full breath in. And as you breathe out, making your way to face the front, coming back to our half splits. Let's walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, lift that back knee, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga, elbows in, come all the way down or halfway. Upward facing dog or cobra. Inhale. Tuck your toes, hips lift high, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, lowering the knees to the mat, cross the feet behind, coming onto our buttocks. And we'll come back to that boat pose. So your option here, either holding on to the back of the thighs, lifting those feet off the ground, core is nice and strong. Hands can either reach towards the front, or you can play around with straightening the legs, your choice here. 2 more breaths. 1 more full breath in. And as you exhale, bring the feet back to the ground, crossing the legs, giving your knees a nice embrace. Let's bring our hands to the ground. We're going to come into a tabletop position, setting up for our pigeon pose. If this is too much, you can always come into reclined pigeon onto your back. And let's slide the right knee behind the right wrist. Left leg slides behind. Coming onto the fingertips first, nice straight spine. Big breath in. And then exhale, melting the heart and the head towards the ground, maybe placing a block underneath your forehead, making fists, or just placing them on the hands. Taking a moment here to coming back to your body and back to your breath. Checking in with yourself, Noticing how you're speaking to yourself throughout the practice. Are you speaking to yourself with love and kindness? Or are you criticizing your practice? And how can you bring more love, understanding, empathy, and kindness to yourself in this moment? And in your own time, you can begin to come onto the hands, walking them towards you. We'll slide back to our tabletop position as we set up for the other side, bringing the left knee behind the left wrist. Right leg slides behind, flexing that left foot. Come onto the fingertips, big breath in. And as you breathe out, walking the hands forward, melting the heart and the head towards the ground. Let's walk the hands back towards us. We'll come back to that tabletop position. Cross the legs behind you and let's come onto our buttocks. Let's come all the way onto our back. Bring both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice loving hug, maybe rocking from side to side, giving the lower back a nice little massage. And then draw your left knee in towards your chest, extending the right leg in front. Then guide that left knee over towards the right side. Left arm opens up as you gaze towards your left hand for supine twist. Begin to unravel yourself, coming back through center. This time, right knee comes in towards the chest. Then using your left hand, guide your right knee over towards the left side. Right arm opens up, gazing over towards your right hand. You're welcome to close your eyes, slowing down your breath. And begin to untwist yourself. Bring your knees in towards your chest. One last loving squeeze, coming into a nice little ball. Then release the legs out in front as we set up for Shavasana. You're welcome to put on any extra clothing, maybe a pillow or a bolster, to make yourself as comfortable as you can for these last few moments for yourself. Part of self-compassion and kindness is giving yourself the space to rest and to just be, without having to do anything other than to be here in this moment. Let's take one last full breath in, the biggest breath you've done today, filling up the lungs completely. Then open mouth, side out, exhale. can start to bring some gentle movements into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, moving the head from side to side. Bring your arms overhead, full body stretch. Come to lay on your side. And when you feel ready, come and meet me in a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed. Then begin to bring both hands onto your heart center. I invite you to repeat the following affirmations to yourself. My mistakes show that I'm growing and learning. I am free to let go of others' judgments. I bring love and kindness to myself. Bring your hands into a prayer position in front of your heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.